Hey everybody, welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today is week 9 of the Comic Rundown 2021, Wednesday, March 3rd. Alright, I think I've got my weeks in order this time around. It is week 9 of the 2021 Comic Rundown for Wednesday, March 3rd here in Comicdom. And yeah, it was a lighter week, at least as far as new books out that I saw in my shop. But there was a lot of big things that came out today, a lot of really cool stuff. So if you didn't get a chance to get to your comic shop, maybe this will get you out there to grab it, or maybe you'll see something that will, maybe you've never read a comic book before, or it's been a long time and you want to go back out. Hopefully you find something here. I'm going to mix it up a little bit today. I'm going to start highlighting anything that's like a new number one for a new series, new mini-series, or something that's new at the top, and then I'll do my regular rundown. So first up at the top of the list is long-anticipated, long-promoted Berserker from Boom Studios, written by, yes, that is Keanu Reeves' name, with Matt Kint, Ron Garney, and Bill Crabtree on the creative team here for this book. And this is, I believe this is cover B, or the second alternate cover of Mark Brooks. Yeah, it's a great cover. And Berserker is this great series so far. Just one issue in. I'm really enjoying it. The style, it's very intense, very action-packed. And knowing that Keanu Reeves wrote this, and if you read this main character in his voice, I mean, I could totally hear him delivering this performance as a movie. So, Berserker number 1 from Boom Studios, out today. Check your local shop, or wherever you buy your comics. Definitely a lot of fun. This is not for kids. It is violence. There's language. Again, not for kids, if anyone was wondering. And I read some cool articles about how they pitched the idea to Keanu Reeves, or how he kind of got involved. So I don't remember what publication that was in, but it was kind of cool to read that. So if you look that up, Keanu Reeves interview about Berserker, check that out. Another number 1 that's been highly promoted, especially the last month or so, from Image Comics, Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels. Nocterra number 1 is out today. When I'll be completely honest, when I first read the solicitations for this, I was not excited. It just didn't do anything for me, so I figured I'd check it out when it came in, and it was either I didn't pay attention to the solicitations, or the hook didn't catch me the way the actual issue did. I really enjoyed this. It was really cool because I don't want to say it's your typical, because it's not typical, but it's kind of the format of a post-apocalyptic future world, where you kind of see where things were at the beginning, and then they start talking about the event in this, they call it the Big PM, because the world goes dark and things start to happen in the darkness. So this was kind of cool. It's kind of a super actiony version of something that feels like a Doctor Who or Twilight Zone type episode, but like turned to 11. And you know what, I have burnt out on some of the writer's work on superhero stuff, so seeing him do a new thing like this, along with what he's writing in Undiscovered Country, and I'm looking forward to reading the last current volume of American Vampire when the collected edition comes out. So yeah, Scott Snyder, I'm really enjoying his stuff that's not superhero related right now, and hopefully lots of other people are enjoying the other things. It's just not working for me. That said, Nocterra is a great book. I think the art is really cool. It's a really fun book, and I'm glad I gave it a chance. I'd be intrigued to see where this goes, and hopefully it doesn't just play into the typical post-apocalyptic future world thing scenarios, and that they do some cool stuff with it, which it feels like they might. All right, now to the regular rundown. We are jumping into Hellions number 10. Like a lot of the X books, I'm running out of steam with these. I think Hellions, if it makes it to issue 12, that'll be my jumping off point for that book, unless something really changes. Yeah, so Hellions. Not saying this was a bad issue. It's just the X-Men stuff in general is wearing me out, and I want to try some other things. But I had a whole rant about that last week, so if you want to check out last week's video, I kind of go off on the X books a little bit over there. Up next is Infinite Frontier Zero from DC. This is this nice gatefold cover. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the end of New Frontier. The New Frontier book, and I don't know if that's an intentional homage to this or what, but this was fun. I kind of feel like if I had read this before I read issue 2 of the Immortal Wonder Woman, that book might have made more sense, so I'm gonna reread that after reading this, because you see Diana after the events of Death Metal and before getting flung into the future state stories, what's going on with her, and why those moments with Spectre in last week's Wonder Woman, Immortal Wonder Woman, felt surprisingly, was a surprise to read those issues, or that story, because my knowledge of them being connected isn't that strong, if they were connected before, but this definitely makes that make more sense. So yeah, Infinite Frontier is really cool. It sets up a lot of groundwork for where DC is going with their books in the coming months, so check that out. New Marvel IDW, Marvel Action Captain Marvel number 1. These, are definitely intended towards younger readers, which is great. I also enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. I really like Captain Marvel, and seeing her interact with some of the other characters is a lot of fun, especially the teen characters, when it's not, on the heels of Civil War 2 where everybody was, being poopy. So Captain Marvel, Marvel Action number 1, the next miniseries has started. Up next is Sensational Wonder Woman number 1. This cover almost made it to my cover of the week. It's a gorgeous cover. I think it's really amazing. I just noticed the Wonder Woman logo down here in the corner for the 80 Years of Wonder Woman. I don't know if that's going to focus, but that's kind of cool. But yeah, so Sensational Wonder Woman, I think this is just a one-shot. And it's kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't know, it just, with all the mind trickery stuff that was going on before Future State with Max Lord and his daughter, having another mind trippy issue just feels like it's not a bad issue. I just feel timing wise, I was hoping for something a little more out of this book. Artwork is gorgeous, and it's a well told issue. It's just not the story I would have chosen to read. But it's good. It's definitely cool. If you want a fun one-off Wonder Woman story, definitely check this out. It is definitely worth it. And yeah, it's gorgeous, gorgeous book. All right, last one before my cover of the week is Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 2. I don't know if I had commented on issue 1 last time, but this is great. The High Republic stuff for Star Wars I'm really enjoying. They're doing a really spectacular job with that, between the books and the comics so far. I'm sure there's some things I won't get into just because I don't have the ability to get in all things. But as far as the comics and books, I will do my best. This is a lot of fun, getting to know these characters in this whole new era of Star Wars. There's one joke in here that just feels really forced. I kind of wish it would have been a little more natural, but it's kind of a pun or like a punny type thing, and it didn't work for me. But I'm also almost 42, and maybe the younger readers this is geared towards will enjoy that moment a lot more. That said, I am enjoying this, seeing more, especially focusing on younger characters in Star Wars in general, because so much of the Star Wars stuff is always about the characters we already know, so it's fun getting into this, and it doesn't just feel childish for the most part. All right, up next is my cover of the week, which is actually a tied for cover of the week. First up is Batman 106 by Jorge Jimenez. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is the gorgeous gatefold cover for Batman 106, featuring the heroes and the rogues and all of that. This is just a gorgeous cover. This is actually a really good issue, very close to my top 3, but didn't quite make the cut. We see Batman far reduced from his status before Future State at the end of the Joker War. He's kind of back to the basics, or at least that's what I thought it was going to be. He still has a lot of great tech. He just doesn't have the mansion in the Batcave anymore. So it seems like it's not as much of a struggle for him to return to being Batman as I was thinking it was going to be, but it's still a cool issue, and I really like the redesign or upgraded design of Scarecrow in this. And yeah, this is interesting. It seems like they could be sowing some of the seeds for what led to the Batman world in Future State, but we shall see. And my cover of the week is the Avengers alternate cover, variant cover, featuring She-Hulk by Jen Bartel. This issue, I saw this on her Instagram page a while back, as she's doing these covers as debut from the era of the character. So Jen Walters, 1980, for Women's History Month. So yeah, this was really cool, and I just really love this 80s style look she's got going on. It feels somewhere between an actual fashion magazine and the John Byrne era stuff, so really love this cover, and just the purple and green is just a great color look. So you'll probably see this hanging up on the shelf back there in one of the future videos. Alright, top 3 for the week. Diving right back into Star Wars at number 3 is Star Wars High Republic number 3. Great cover by Phil Noto, featuring one of our new cast characters of the Jedi here, as they are exploring some missing people and some troubling things going on to the Jedi on this mission. Like I said before, the whole High Republic stuff, I'm really enjoying seeing Jedi working together more than just a master and a Padawan. You're seeing groups of Jedi working together, which I know we've seen some of that in the Clone Wars and stuff, but I feel like they're a lot more connected, a lot more involved, and the whole concept of how the Jedi work together in this era of the High Republic, what they've been doing so far, is much more what I hoped I would always see the Jedi get to be when I heard about prequels coming out, and what I imagined it was like before the Empire and everything. So instead of the sad final years of them being bogged in a war and everything. So this is really cool. I really like this, and I think it's really living up to the whole concept of the Camelot era of Star Wars for both King Arthur and Kennedy era American politics. So yeah, it was really good. Number 2 for my top 3 countdown. It is a King in Black tie-in, and I really don't care about the King in Black storyline, but it gave a really awesome story in this Captain America King in Black one-shot. I feel like this issue gave me a much more satisfying and good Captain America story than I've read in a couple of years. That's another book that's probably coming up on the chopping block soon if some things don't... I don't know. There's just something in the ongoing series that's not landing for me. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not working for me. But this did. I'm not saying every issue of Captain America needs to feel like this, but this was really refreshing compared to what I've been reading the last 2 years or so, or more, actually since before Secret Empire. There's some cool stuff during the Mark Waid run, but this was a lot of fun. I really like this issue. Captain America is a character who you don't always get to see his like darkest fears or his inner thoughts, so much doubt about who he is and what he is. Seeing him getting kind of put up against Null was kind of cool. And he worked with Bucky and Sam, Falcon and Winter Soldier in this issue, so just gets me a little more excited for the show coming soon. And last but not least, my number one pick of the week. I added this to my list, and I wasn't sure what this was even going to be. I know it's highlighting an artist that's new to me, and I was like, what is this? I have no idea. There's no context for what this is. But I added it because it's X-Men, and it looked like it could be interesting. It is Demon Days, X-Men #1 by Peach Momoko. This is the Art Germ alternate cover, and this is a version of Psylocke, or I don't know if this is classic late 80s, 90s Psylocke, where Betsy is in Quinon's body, or if this is just... I'm not sure. And it doesn't really matter because this is set in kind of an ancient Japan, and it's a really fun art style. I really like it with this story, and it looks like there's going to be another one coming, focusing on Mariko and possibly the Red Room. So this was a lot of fun. This was a gorgeous book, and there's some really cool stuff into like Japanese folklore. They give you like a 2-page spread in the back called the Yokai Files, explaining some of the inspirations for the characters in this book. I won't show it because I don't want to spoil anything. But if you get a chance to get your hands on this Demon Days X-Men book, it's a lot of fun. It is not just an adaptation of an X-Men story into feudal or ancient Japan. It's its own original story, borrowing X-Men characters and merging them into that culture, that universe, and I think that's really cool, especially since Psylocke, at least this version of Psylocke, is Japanese. It's really cool to see her in that kind of classic story setting. So yeah, that's it for my rundown this week, March 3rd, 2021, week 9 of the 2021 rundown. That's it. I'll catch you guys next time, and catch you later. Ramble on.